If your toddler hits, bites, or throws things when they are upset, it is not what you think it is. I know how jarring it is in the moment. 1 second they are playing, the next second their hand swings, and you think, where did that come from? Most parents' first instinct is to correct the behaviour immediately. We say, we do not hit. We pull them back sharply. We demand a sorry right away. But that reaction usually makes the hitting worse, not better. Hitting is not disrespect. It is an overloaded nervous system with no words yet. And once you see what is actually happening underneath, you will never look at that hit the same way again. Here is what is actually happening and what to do instead. Let us back up and watch how this actually unfolds, because the moment right before the hit is where everything gets decided. Picture this. Ethan is 3. He is at his cousin's house, and he wants the truck his cousin is holding. His cousin says no and turns away. Watch what happens in Ethan's body before any behaviour happens. His cheeks flush, his fists clench, his breathing gets fast and shallow, his shoulders come up. He reaches again, he gets pushed back gently. That is the tipping point. Right now, Ethan does not have the words for I am frustrated, or that is not fair, or I waited so long and I really wanted a turn. What he has is a body that is flooding with big feelings and nowhere to put them. Then he hits. His cousin cries. And now we have 2 dysregulated kids. Sarah rushes over. She is embarrassed. She is overstimulated herself. Ethan! We do not hit. Say sorry right now. We do not hit in this family. See what happened on his face. He went from upset to frozen, confused, ashamed, and still not regulated at all. Here is the problem with that response. Even though it is the instinct almost every parent has, and I had it too, Ethan did not learn what to do differently. He did not learn how to handle not getting the toy. He learned that big feelings make mom angry and make him bad. That is it. The hitting was not addressed. It was just punished. And punishment in that flooded moment just adds more stress to a system that is already maxed out. So why does this actually happen? Let us talk about what is really going on inside a toddler's brain when they hit. Point 1. The brain is not finished yet. A toddler's prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for impulse control, reasoning, and stopping to think, is still years from being fully developed. It will not be fully mature until the mid-20s. So when we expect a 3-year-old to just use their words in a moment of big emotion, we are expecting a skill their brain physically does not have yet. Point 2. Hitting is a stress response, not a moral decision. When a toddler is overwhelmed, their body shifts into what we call fight, flight, or freeze. For a lot of toddlers, especially very physical sensory-seeking kids, hitting is the fight response. It is automatic, physical, and fast. It happens before conscious thought has a chance to catch up. It is not, I want to hurt you. It is, I have so much energy in my body, I have to get it out right now, and your arm was closest. Point 3. Why our usual fix makes it worse. Here is the part that surprises a lot of parents. When we respond to hitting with sharpness, raised voice, shame, or time out used as punishment, we are adding stress to an already stressed nervous system. And a more stressed nervous system is more likely to hit again next time, not less. You are not teaching self-control, you are teaching fear of your reaction. I want to say this clearly. This does not mean there are no boundaries. It does not mean you let hitting slide. It means the boundary has to come with regulation, not on top of shame. Point 4. What actually reduces hitting over time? Kids stop hitting when 3 things happen consistently over months, not minutes. First, they feel safe enough to calm down first, with your help. Second, they are given the actual words for what they are feeling, over and over. And third, they get practice. Lots of repeated, boring, everyday practice with what to do with their hands and body instead. This is not a one conversation fix. It is a skill, and skills take reps. You are not failing because you have had to do it 50 times. You are in the middle of the 50 times it takes. So here is what this actually looks like in the moment. Not a script to memorize word for word. A shape you can use every single time. 4 steps. Hold, name, move, repair. Step 1. Stop the behavior calmly, without shame. I will not let you hit. I am going to hold your hands safe. I have got you. Notice what is missing here. No bad boy, no what is wrong with you, no anger in her voice. The boundary is just as firm. In fact, it is firmer because she follows through physically, but gently. It is just delivered without adding fuel to the fire. If he is really swinging, you can say, I will keep everyone safe, and you move your body between the kids. You do not need a lecture. Step 2. Name the feeling. You are really frustrated. You wanted that truck, and you did not get it. You did not like that. Do not ask, why did you do that? A dysregulated toddler cannot answer that question. It just adds pressure. This step matters more than most parents realize. Every time you name a feeling out loud, you are building the vocabulary that will eventually replace the hitting. This is slow work. It is also the actual work. If you want to add one more line, you can add validation. It makes sense you are mad. It is hard to wait. Step 3. Give the hands something to do. The urge to hit does not just disappear because we said do not. It needs somewhere to go. You can squeeze this as hard as you want. Or you can stomp your feet like a dinosaur. Or push against the wall with me. You are giving that fight energy a safe, physical outlet. A pillow to squeeze, Play-Doh to smash, stomping feet, pushing against a wall, carrying something heavy. These give the body a safe way to complete that stress cycle. What if he throws himself on the floor? Let him. You stay close. You say, I am right here when you are ready. You are not ignoring. You are not rewarding. You are giving space without abandoning. Step 4. Repair, briefly, once calm. This is important. Repair only works once your child is calm again. Asking a dysregulated toddler to apologize in the heat of the moment usually produces a hollow sorry with no real learning attached. Wait until the storm passes. Your hands hurt her. Let us check if she is okay. Would you like to bring her the ice pack? Or ask if she wants space? You are teaching cause and effect without shame. My hands have power, and I can use them to help fix it. So again, if you only remember 4 words today, remember this: hold, name, move, repair. If your child hits, it does not mean you are doing something wrong. It does not mean they are going to grow up aggressive. It does not mean you have failed as a parent. It means their body is doing exactly what small bodies do when big feelings show up faster than words can. Every time you respond with calm instead of shame, you are not letting the behavior slide. You are not being permissive. You are teaching the nervous system underneath the behavior how to come back down. And that lesson, repeated hundreds of times in your living room and kitchen and grocery store, is what actually changes things. Not a single perfect conversation. You are not raising a bad kid. You are raising a brain that is still under construction. The hitting is the reaction. What happens right before it, that 10-second window where his fists clench and his breathing changes, that is the part most parents miss. That is the part where you have the most power. That is what I will show you in the next video. How to catch that window and what to say so the hit never has to happen at all.